Hey everyone, two of us here. Please let me know who you are. Hey everyone. So I know I'm 2 hours late coming on, but I didn't really think I would do a live this week um, because on Monday I was a guest at Indiana Backyard Gardener and we talked for 3 hours. So I figure, hey Mike, welcome, welcome. I figured y'all are tired of hearing me speak, but I had no less than 4 emails. Hey, haven't seen your announcement for your live. Are you going live tonight? So here we are. Mike's listening while he cooks. What are you cooking, Mike? I don't really have a theme for tonight, so let's have fun and talk about what we've been doing. Um, and I'll show you what I've been spending my money on and what I've got planned for the upcoming week or so. Yes, I'm still coughing, but now it's pollen and allergies instead of sickness. Beef and turnip green stew. That sounds interesting. Did you grow your own turnips for that? So don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and we'll do some sort of a drawing later on because I've got a new toy. Um, it's a prize wheel. I'm not sure how to use it, but we'll monkey with it and see if we can work out the kinks and do a giveaway. What do you think? So if there are 3 people in here, who are they? David Gray. Hey, welcome back. I've missed you in the last few lives we've done, David. So what have you been up to? Oh, you just got your seeds, Mike? You know what? I don't think we've planted our turnips yet. I'll have to go out and broadcast some seed tomorrow, I think. So this time of year is the time of year I'm selling off my seedlings, and I've been I took out marketplace advertising last Friday, and I had 150 tomato seedlings. I'm down to 30 in just a few days. So I'm wondering, do I start more tomatoes or will I get stuck with the second batch? Because there aren't a whole lot of people aware that you can replant your tomatoes in July for a fall crop. So what do I do? What do you all think? Should I go ahead and start a second batch of tomatoes? Was it Adrian's seed swap, David, that you got seeds from? I have so many seeds. It's not funny. So I wonder how many people are going to show up tonight because I didn't I didn't tease this broadcast. So what kind of peas are you going to be growing, David? I've got like several kinds of peas I'm growing. I'm growing telephone pole, which like at 80 feet tall. Yeah, 80. It's kind of an English pea. Flavor's okay. My favorite pea is a sugar snap because I like the pea pods and I do a lot of Asian vegetables. Excuse me while I dive for the cough drop I just dropped. There we go. Cool. Old Ways Gardening. I think they're in Georgia, aren't they? I think I met them during the meetup last year. I love sugar snap, and I've got some light yellow peas. Got my seeds on my desk and next to my desk that I'm going to be planting. So I just got back from Joann's Fabric. Charlie's not in the room with me tonight because he's having a Meniere's disease attack. Do you all know what Meniere's disease is? I bet David does. He was a pharmacist, weren't you, David? Anyway, look what I got. I bought a whole roll of this stuff. You're going to have to stay tuned for the video I do and what I'm going to use it for. But I bet some of you could guess. Hey, Dark Lord! Welcome, welcome. We're just kind of winging it tonight. Wedding dress? No, I've been married almost 43 years. How's that? One of your bosses had it, David? Yeah, he's been, this is the longest attack I've seen him. This is his second day. Usually it's just for a few hours. And he's very sensitive to weather changes. So when we had tornadoes come through a few days ago, he got hit with it. And, but I think he ate something night before last that triggered it because it's more like a systemic reaction. But the poor guy, he can't open his eyes or move without retching. Re-up on the vows. Yeah, if we make it to 50, we'll re-up. That I don't suspect. I mean, I know this sounds morbid, but I don't expect to be alive that long. I got too many issues. But on to happier things. I just, Charlie's really miserable. So, of course, I go to Joann's Fabric after the tulle fabric, and on the way to the register, I see these socks. This says, working on my bunny buns. Oh, for cheap's sake. I thought those were cute. And yes, I don't wear grown-up socks. I wear kid socks. And I'm not sure what that is. Is that a bunny gnome? Can you see that image? Do I need to hold it here? And these came out to only be $1 a pair. And I like a good sale. Thank you, Dark Lord. I hope he feels better too. I'm miserable when he's miserable. So I hope that the lady from Canada that was here last time will show up tonight. So I could tell her I still haven't mailed her package because I've got to go down and actually do it at the post office, and that's kind of a trip for me to get to the post office. But you want to see what I've got here that I just got in the mail? You know, me and my seeds. I'm hopeless. So I'm a big customer of Baker Creek. And these are the Italian edible gourds that I grew last year that were quite good. So I'm gonna, up above the banner, I've got to do this. You can read that. It's Cucuzzi serpentine Sicilia, whatever. Yeah. Red Mizuna was my free seed. I've got this all over my yard. I put it in the garden and it went to bloom, and I've got volunteers all over my yard. Gelbert English custard squash. We grew this 2 years ago, and it was really prolific. We grew it in big pots, and the squash hung over the side, of course, and we'd watch it. And about the time it got to the size where you would go pick it, we'd go out to pick it, and they'd be gone. So we have a resident groundhog that liked the squash. It must have been good. We didn't even get one. This is another Italian squash that's wonderful. They go like 3 feet long. Tastes like zucchini. So that came in this week from Baker Creek. And we had hopefully our last cold night last night, where it went down to, the weather service told us to expect 40. But our weather station that we've got out on top of the greenhouse that sends data in to us told me it got down to 36 degrees. So it should be the last night like that until next fall, which is good news for me, right? I'm going to succession plant bunching onions or scallions. And this is my second favorite seed company is Kitazawa, although they have partnered now with True Leaf. I don't know how I feel about that. Most of the seed I've ever gotten from Kitazawa is like 100% germination. So I've got Tokyo long white and Japanese bunching onions. Then I've got medicinal herbs. How many of you caught my medicinal herbs thing I did on Monday with Adrian at Indiana Backyard? This is one of the herbs. David says it's supposed to rain for a couple of days, and then I'm planting peas. David, if I know it's going to rain, I plant ahead of the rain and let the rain water in the seed. And that seems to work really, really well because rainwater softens the seed coating. I don't know if you knew that. But tap water may not have the same effect on your seed if you soak. But anyway, I've got horehound, which is a powerful expectorant. Then I'm planting more nasturtium. I didn't have very good germination this year with the nasturtium, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 packets of nasturtium. My free seed, once again from Baker Creek, was the Mizuna. I don't guess they were able to sell much of that last year. That's what they're sending out this year. That's their free seed. That's several packets. I might go ahead and give those away tonight. And then I've got more bunching onions. You know, you can plant these all summer and all winter. And I'm going to put them into my green stalk planters. So, you know, we had that Arctic blast where it got to be 7 below here. And I have a bay laurel, Laurus nobilis tree, which is the culinary bay. That's probably about 10 or 12 feet tall in the backyard. Has survived the winters just fine. It's flourishing, beautiful. You look at it now and it looks dead. Those temperatures are just too much for it. There is some green left in the thicker stems. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to cut it hard probably in the next week or two. Try to strip off the dead leaves. I'll collect those leaves and burn them to purify the air in the house. It's supposed to help you with your breathing, and it's also an air purifier. So maybe if there's enough people here who would like some of those leaves, just say so in the chat, and then shoot me an email and say, hey, Lisa, can you send me some of those bay leaves? They won't be good for use for cooking because they're all brown, but they still burn and still have medicinal properties. So David's going to plant in the mud. Got a pound of wheat seeds today and some tomato seeds. He's going to donate those to his school garden. And can't remember right now what else, huh? You sound like me, David. Yeah, I like playing in the mud. So I've got, I'm putting together my pepper catalog for the peppers I'm offering for sale this year. That's another thing. If you want a copy of that, shoot me an email. I've got the email up on the screen. And I am going to be brave this year and try to sell or send some of my seedlings through the mail. So if you see something in the book and I have a seedling available, send me an email, and then it's going to be the cost of the plant plus shipping. But I've got Tunisian baklauti, shata, that sounds nasty, doesn't it? Shata seeds, shattah. Ahi cachucha. These are really mild and they're beautiful. When they start out, they look like little flying saucers and they're green, and then they get purple across the top, and then they turn all sorts of colors before they are totally mature out to red. It's a mild but very tropical taste. Very, very delicious and pretty pepper. Something called a Hernandez. I have no idea what it is. These seeds that come in these little packets come from a supplier by the name of Jim Duffy. And I get most of my pepper seeds from him now if I'm not importing some from overseas. He's great. He's been teaching me how to germinate seeds because I'm new to peppers. Basically, just been doing exotic peppers for 3 years. Although I had 8-year-old Scotch bonnet bushes, so I use his methods plus something I learned this summer or this winter that really worked out well. Really good germination. But he's at refining fire chilies or super hot chilies.com. A little bit pricey, like one of these packets is $5 and you only get 10 seeds. But he knows his stuff. See, this is an Aleppo pepper. This year I decided to concentrate my obsession on peppers of the Middle East. Something called a Hatch Miss Junie that's from the United States. I've had a hard time germinating these for some reason. This is my 3rd order of them, and I can't get them to come up. And Pico de Parajo, obviously that's a South American one. But I need to add these to my catalog. And I'm not going to go through all these varieties. But you look, that's full of pepper seeds. And all those to be started this weekend. Those will be ready uh, 10 weeks from now, and that will put us into the end of May. A lot of these peppers don't really start producing until the end of August anyway, so the timing will be right on that. But I hold things up to my shoulder. You can't see. All right. Oh, you started. Did I send you the Berberay seed? I bet you'll like those, David. Those are good. But I've got a new favorite from that area of the world, from Turkey, called the Kardula. It's really good. It's a little bit. I don't know if you'd say if it's hotter or right about the same heat as a jalapeno, but it's got a really interesting flavor. Really delicious. Really delicious. So I started to tell you about my bay tree. I think I lost. I think I lost it. I'm not sure it's coming back. And at the nurseries around here, a little bay tree this big is like $20. So I got searching for bay, Laurus nobilis, which is the bay that you eat. And I'm not going to offer. I'm not going to ship these out, but I just got 15 of these in the mail. I'll be right back. So my customers that show up here every year ask me for bay laurel. So I've got bay laurel, and I'll probably keep 2 or 3 of these and sell the rest of them to cover my expenses. But these weren't cheap. They came in the mail today, and I think they look pretty good. What do you think? Hey, Mama. How you doing? And that's about all I have to show and tell tonight. I do have a list here of herbs that the people who came to the live broadcast on Monday said they wanted me to talk about. And I'm not sure whether I should do a special broadcast um, talking about herbal medicine if there are enough people who are interested, or whether I should do it at my next live 2 weeks from now. What do you all think about that? Is it kind of boring listening to me lecture about medicinal herbs? Hey, Duval, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So tell me what y'all are. Mike's chaotic is cooking dinner for us all. He needs to tell us what time to come over. Dark Lord Met likes the info. Nikki, hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I just did show and tell, Nikki. Do I need to do it again? So, what's everyone doing right now in their gardens? So we know Mike's playing in the mud. So we got 9 people. Welcome, everyone. Having trouble with your seeds molding before they get too big. That's telling me that the soil that she's starting in is probably too heavy. She needs to get more aeration in the soil, or more vermiculite, to make it a little bit lighter and not keep it so wet. But if she has to replant, it might be too late to save what she's got in that soil, because those mold spores, once they're in there, they're in there. So if she starts over, or any of you who are starting seed, make sure you're using a really light seed starting mix. And then boil up some chamomile tea. Now, you take your pot of water and you put like twice as much chamomile in there as you would if you were going to drink it. And you just let it boil for 10 or 15 minutes. Let it totally cool. And then I'll pour mine into an empty soda bottle. Okay, so you get 2 liters of cool chamomile tea concentrate. And then in one of the hand spray bottles that you can get, you fill it a quarter full with the tea and then fill the rest of the way up. I use rainwater or water that I set out overnight so all the chemicals can evaporate from the water. And then that's what you use to moisten the soil around your sprouting seeds. You squirt that on, you spritz that on, and it's supposed to take care of the mold, and you won't have any more damping off. David's garlic and walking onions are doing good. Our walking onions are up, and our garlic's doing well too. Dark Lord Met agrees with me, too much water on those seedlings. So Duval, how did you start your squash, zucchini, and pumpkins? Are you starting them inside and then transplanting, or did you direct sow them? Yeah, I've got all sorts of little baby blueberries coming too. Um, David says his berries all look good. Dark Lord Med's going to rip apart her garden beds and move them so she can put in a chicken run and coop and add more beds. Dark Lord Med, did you catch my video that released this week on building a predator-proof chicken housing unit, chicken house? It's a three-part video. The first one is out, and the other 2 are coming. It took us 9 months to build it because we only have Saturdays to work on projects. So I broke it into 3 pieces so you can see what we do. We've got hawks, coyote, fox, raccoons. All those animals go after the chickens, who are all around us. I mean, they you can, in the morning you go out and you can see where they've circled the pen. But so far they haven't figured out how to get past our defenses. Jiffy Seed starter soil, that's very good. I've been known to mix my own up. I've got bags and bags of Pro Mix. Pro Mix for garden soil, and I mix in vermiculite and coconut coir and sand if it's going to be a pepper, because you've got to have good drainage especially with your pepper plants. They do not like wet feet. Maybe I should plan space for growing a chicken pasture. I'm on 3/4 of an acre, Dave, and the county tells me how many chickens I can have and tells me that I can't have roosters. So my hands are tied. Otherwise, I'd have goats, I'd have quail and other things, but we're probably maxed out. Just about every inch of the yard is used. We're putting in underneath the hickory trees. We're putting in. We finished the landing pad for my outdoor pizza oven tandoor. Actually, it's going to be an Asian tandoor, and I'm filming that, and I'll do that in segments as well. Because again, we have 1 day a week and limited amount of cash to do this. Our friends from Afghanistan and India are getting together to come out and help us actually construct the clay oven. But it's Ramadan, so everyone's busy at the mosque. We're going to have to wait a couple of weeks before people are free up and have energy to work. And then when that's done, that's surrounded by a walking trail that Charlie put in for me that's lined by mushroom logs. So yes, we cultivate mushrooms too. Oh, my press releases are rolling in over the hot news of the night, but we're not going to get political here, right? Um, Other than tigers and lions. You name the predator, we've got it, even bears. Yeah, bears are interesting. 75 chickens? Dark Lord, my goodness. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Please, please subscribe. I think I'm going to go ahead and raffle off the Mizuna seed tonight. During the Great Depression, 1920s, government said to have 2 chickens per person. Well, tell the folks at Gwinnett County that eggs to water glass for winter use. I tried water glassing last year, and do you remember how long they're supposed to last with the water glassing? Because in December, I did the water glassing, I want to say in September. By the end of January, they started exploding in the jar. It was nasty. God, it was nasty. Honeybees Instaham. So welcome, honeybees. I don't recognize your name, but welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, we're just kind of winging it tonight. I have had a very interesting year with honeybees. We went into winter with 3 hives, and the end of November, right before the Arctic blast hit, we had 2 hives abscond. Now, my husband Charlie thinks it's because we had such a severe drought last year. It didn't rain but maybe 2 or 3 times between April and November. And there was just no food out there for the bees. So we think that's why 2 of the hives absconded. So we kind of babied that 1 hive up until this year. And it swarmed at the beginning of March, which is early for our area here in Georgia. Okay, you're between Winder and Athens. Okay, so you're basically my neighbor because we're down here in Centerville, actually. So we caught our first swarm, which was a break off from our 1 hive that came through the winter. And that was the first week of March. And then last week, at the end of last week, we had another swarm in the front yard. And then 3 days later, another swarm landed in our cherry tree. So that was 3 swarms we caught. And then the phone rang about the time we got in the house. The sun was setting. We were eating dinner, and the phone rang, and it was someone who knew us saying, "Y'all want some bees?" Just like that, "Y'all want some bees?" And I looked at Charlie and I said, "Oh no." And he says, "There's a swarm in a bush on his driveway." So we went over in the dark and caught 4th swarm. That's 2 in one day. In the dark, and I have to say it was the easiest swarm capture I've seen, because once we got the bees, you just scoop them up and just putting them in the box. They didn't try to fly away or anything. So, and I was holding like a flashlight, and they're going crazy out there. They love it. So in December, when those 2 hives absconded, we ordered 2 nukes from Blue Ridge Honey up in the Georgia mountains. So we've got to go pick that up first weekend in April. So we went from 1 hive to 5 hives, and in April we're getting 2 more. Hopefully we'll have a good honey harvest this year if we don't head into another drought. So how many hives do you have? Yeah, Well, the amazing thing to me, while Honeybees answers me, hopefully you'll answer me, Honeybees, on, on how many hives do you have? And I also would like to know, what are you charging for your honey? We get $12 a pound, whether we can get more this year. Uh, but Nikki, I've always been afraid of bees. So the fact that I go out, I'm always the one that sees the swarm out the window. And I'll go out whenever I have on. And one day I went out in my underwear, basically my pajamas, and I ring a chime. And when you ring the chime, the bees come to you and they settle down low. And then Charlie goes and he puts on his gear, his hood and his coat and his mask, and he gets the box. But me, the one that screams and yell, used to scream and yell and do funny dances when a bee got near me, is standing there in my underwear, ringing a chime with them all swarming around me. And I'm just so proud of myself. Okay, honeybees, I'm thinking about getting a cough drop. See, I have another one on my desk. I do. Uh, I'm thinking about joining the Gwinnett County Bee Club, but we're already members of 2 other bee clubs. That's cool. That's cool. I really think the hive that swarmed first here is about to swarm again. So we don't have any more room. So we do have one of the guys Charlie mentored. He lost his hive over the winter. He'll probably, if we can catch another swarm, he'll probably buy one from us. And then we have someone we mentored a couple of years ago that wants one too. If the people who are listening have been thinking about honeybees, once you overcome your fear, you really do need to learn your basics before you put a hive in, because if you don't practice good husbandry, they'll get up and leave. Um, we've discovered that we don't like Italian bees. They're lazy. They don't produce much. But there's a bee out of Hungary or Eastern Europe, the Carnolian. That is a gentle bee. They really need a reason to sting. And they're so hardworking. They really give you a lot of honey. Gwinnett beekeepers meet at Hebron Church. Used to go there a few years back. Yeah, I've been talking to them on Facebook. I haven't actually been to a meeting. So hopefully, honeybees, hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel and drop me a line at my emails on the banner. We could stay in touch and maybe meet up at one of their upcoming meetings. That would be cool beans. So, Nikki, what do you got going? What have you planted? And Dark Lord Med, I think I've got a video out there of the water glassing. It was last year. It may have been last spring I put it in. I don't know. There's a water glassing video, I'm pretty sure. You use smaller jars. I used a gallon jar. I've been selling my eggs as fast as the girls are laying them. They're Easter egg chickens, so I've convinced people if you blow the egg, so you have an empty egg, and you use the egg insides for cooking. But the Easter eggs, I've got pink, blue, and green, and so they're letting their kids paint them. and you get like an earring fob, and you put it on the top and put a hook on it, and you can hang it from the Christmas tree, or make an Easter egg tree, and maybe have something to remember your kids by year to year. Smaller half gallons for pickle jars. Okay. So you think maybe we just stacked too many stacked on each other? That's why they burst. It was nasty. I just laugh about it, and I still can't bake a loaf of bread to save my soul. I can't get my bread to rise, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But all I have right now are duck eggs. And had Charlie not gotten sick today, I was going to make clafoutis. Anyone in here make clafoutis? Anyone know what clafoutis is? It's a custard, like an egg custard, that I usually will use cherries, and I'll take the pits out of the cherries and take a big deep casserole dish, line the bottom with the pitted cherries. Then I mix up the batter, which is basically eggs, vanilla, just a um, little bit of flour and almond extract, and I mix that up, and I pour it over the cherries. That of course pop to the surface, and then I bake that. I forget for how long. I think close to an hour. And you can serve it hot or cold, but then you put powdered sugar over the top. And even though I make a huge pan like this, Charlie and I will eat that in like 2 days. Well, I didn't move the eggs though. They sat on a shelf. And I looked over, I said to Charlie, I said, it's about time, let's check this theory that this water glass eggs will last a year. And looked over at the jar at the base of my shelving in my kitchen, and it was nasty yellow, greenish, murky stuff in there. And I handed it to Charlie. I said, "You want to open it and see how it smells?" And he's like, "Absolutely not." And so he took it out in the yard and dumped it in the compost. Um, and then came back in with his eyes watering, and he goes, you don't want to go out there for a bit." So I am looking for Nikki to tell us what she's growing so far, because she's a little bit further north. Um, we put in our tomatoes this weekend. I think I told Stacy over at Hands in the Dirt that we did that. We pulled a cloth over them last night, and I'm glad we did because it went down to 36. It was only supposed to hit 40. But I uncovered them today, and they look like they're coming through okay. And I've got to go to the greenhouse tomorrow and start all these pepper seeds, and snatch up the peppers I'm going to keep out of my seedlings because people are starting to come buy them. Again, if you're interested in any of the wild and wondrous peppers that I grow, I am putting together a catalog. Just send me an email and say, yeah, send me your catalog. And then I'll let you know how much I'm charging, and it'll be plus shipping, whatever shipping will be. We can discuss how you want them, regular mail or priority. So Nikki's doing a lot of winter sowing: tomatoes, peppers, squash, eggplants, and okra. What kind of eggplant, what kind of okra are you growing, Nikki? I'm with you, Dark Lord Met, but my husband makes the most wonderful fried okra that you won't say, you won't gag if you were to try his okra. It's not breaded. Mama says her potatoes are growing well as the kale and scotch peppers and some herbs. Of course, lots of herbs. What kinds of herbs? After our talk on Monday, I ordered some lovage. Where did I order? Seed Growers Exchange or Growers Exchange had some lovage. I also lost my lemon verbena that I had out there for 5 years, so I ordered new lemon verbena. Not for you, huh, Dark Lord? You know, I'm from New England and from European, a very European family. You could never tell that, I know, but my mother had absolutely no idea what to do with okra or with eggplant. So if you show me a bowl of okra and tomatoes, I gag. Blah. You know, it's like a mouthful of snot to me. um, but then I reviewed a Arab cookbook for a Middle East magazine that I worked for, and when you review a cookbook, you have to cook. You have to make uh, 2/3 of the recipes to try them. And I learned how to cook okra, and I learned how to properly cook eggplant because mom's eggplant would bite you back. And once I learned how to salt treat the eggplant, now I love it. So if you think your eggplant bites or it's too harsh on your mouth, you slice it, cover it with table salt, put it in a bowl for about half an hour. You go back to the bowl in half an hour, and all this tannin, all this brown liquid has come out, and that you throw that away. But then you take the eggplant and you rinse it well under running water, and you squeeze this like a sponge, and then do whatever you're going to do with it. Bread it, fry it, put it in stir fries. But it actually, after a salt treatment, it's sweet, and you can actually taste the. It's a fruit. It's a type of berry actually. You can actually taste its real flavor. So, rosemary, lavender, sage, and basil. Is that regular garden sage, Mama? Honeybee says she put up 15 tomatoes and peppers in the ground, covered with black pots last 2 nights. They're okay. Potatoes are coming back. Spearmint and peppermint, I have both of those. Dehydrated okra, I've seen that at Sprouts, but I haven't tried it. Good for you, Duval. I'll be interested to know if the lavender survives your hydroponic, because usually it's a lot like the rosemary. It doesn't like to be wet, and it needs lots of air circulation. So I'll be curious if you'll tell me later on in the season if it's doing okay. Takes the pectin out. You talking about the eggplant? No, it's tannins. Some sort of tannin. Squash, table queen, straight neck. Yes, yes. Round zucchini, gray and golden. Spineless. That's what I want to know if you grow spineless okra, because it'll bite you when you're trying to pick it. Hmm. That's good. That's good. How long have you had it in the hydroponics? So those of you who came in late, I'm going to go over my seeds again with you. Edible gourd and an Italian zucchini. I do several types of edible gourd. I do also serpent gourd. I've got bitter melons started already in the greenhouse. Jamaican Circe. I'm going to try this again this year. Nikki, our groundhog, ate every single darn one of these that we grew 2 years ago when we were growing in pots. It was prolific. It put on a lot of squash, but before we could get to it, when it got to a size where you wanted to pick it, that groundhog was like it knew we were coming, and he'd go out and eat it all. And I love green onions or scallions. I've got 3 varieties here. I'm going to have to reseed my nasturtium, which you all know is a trap plant for aphids and chewing insects. Because for some reason, my nasturtium didn't germinate well this year. I have no idea why, because usually it's like magic. I just throw it down and it comes up. So, oh, Garden State Gardener, thanks for coming in, Joe. We're talking what we're growing. So, what you got going? I know you did a seedling video. I like your setup. And so, what kind of peppers do you have going? Yeah, I'm just starting my cucumbers. I've got some I put directly into the ground after soaking a couple of days, and I'm going to start some in the greenhouse just in case those don't come up out there. So let's see. Late arrivals. Look at my baby bay trees. This is Laurus nobilis because I think I lost my big bay tree that's 10 to 12 feet tall out there. You're sweating from cooking? 650 varieties or 650 seedlings? Oh, so Joe, I'm going to start this container here is full of seeds for I think I have like 120 different varieties. Wow. Do you have a list of what you're growing, Joe? And who's your seed supplier? I use Jim Duffy. I did get an import license and imported seed from Africa 2 years ago. And I'm now collecting my own seed for those. That's Duberberay, cheeky peppers, and a couple of other West African peppers. You'll absolutely love the rampicante. Yes, I grew it last year. It is good. It's a go-to zucchini. It's the only thing I have found, honeybees, that can withstand the vine borers and the cucumber beetles. Do you have problems with where you're only an hour away from me? If that, 40 minutes. I can't grow the cucumbers and zucchini past end of April because of the vine borers, the cucumber beetles. Yeah, and mine overtook my yard last year. But they don't bother, the bugs don't bother it at all. Order from everywhere. My watermelon beefsteak tomato I got from Garden State Gardener is huge, about 5 feet tall and flowering. Started in your hydroponic. Wow. Do you have it in a pot now? That sounds like that tomato that took over your world there. So Honeybee says the reason the bugs don't bother the rampicante is because it grows so fast. But you don't think it has something to do with all the hair on the stems? I think it's one tough plant. One tough plant. Hey, y'all, don't forget to hit thumbs up for me, okay? It's in a pot now. So I basically sold out of all my tomato seedlings, and I'm contemplating, do I start more tomatoes for the local market here? But I grow non-red tomatoes. I do all the different colors and sizes and little salad tomatoes, and I do black beauties. I like the black beauty, which is the big purple tomato. And then the Ukrainian seed company Niktova that Adrian at Indiana Backyard turned me on to. I have extremely good germination with any of the seed I bought from them. And I ordered seed from them, I want to say 3 weeks ago, maybe sooner than that. And they were having a sale. Most of their seed was $1.19, and you get like 3 times the amount of seed that you would get from the American sources. And they have some things that are familiar to us here, and some seeds for vegetables that are more cold hardy. Of course, they're part of the world as cooler weather than we do here, where I am. But they're well worth contacting, and well worth the wait for their stuff to come in. It's coming all the way from Ukraine. So, I found more seed. Deep purple bunching onions. I'm not the most organized, or I'm definitely not a neat person. So I've got seed all over my desk. Evidently none from Ukraine, to show you their packaging. Oh. Nikitovka, Nikito, V as in Victor, Ka seeds. I highly recommend going to their website. I'm going to try to get this close enough to the camera for you to read it. I'm watching my computer screen. Can y'all see that? Highly recommend ordering from them. Support the Ukrainian farmers. Right. So we've talked about bees. We talked about what yours truly has absolutely no control over herself buying seed. I'm starting peppers. What do y'all think? Think I should start more tomatoes? Cucumber, squash. My eggplant's doing real well. It's about that tall in the greenhouse. And I've got white eggplant. I've got purple striped eggplant. I've got long, thin eggplant. I've got big old fat eggplant. I'm looking forward to eggplant this year. So I've got a new toy, and I'm technically challenged, so I'm still learning how to use things. But there is a StreamYard giveaway. Let's see, how do we start it? Oh, that's a tutorial. Yes, but how do you use it? StreamYard giveaway. I thought there was a button. Is it under settings? Bear with me while I try to find this. Gee, I thought I had it bookmarked for me to go in and let's see, the websites for Oh, this is hilarious. It's not going to let me type in. Don't you love when you think you got something set up to use and it doesn't work? There's the name of the seed company. I'm still trying to figure out how I did it the other day with the giveaway wheel. Hmm. Comments, banners, brands, private chat. But the button to do the giveaway wheel is gone. That was here. So if anybody listening knows how I get that up so we can do a raffle. I'll put a wheel of names up. And if you let's see, maybe share. If you would like a chance at the Mizuna seed, this is a very delicious plant. It's kind of peppery or horseradishy. And add it to salads for a little perk. Put it in the sandwiches for a little bit of bite back. Stir fries, soups, stews, anywhere you want a little bit of attitude with your cooking. Mix it in your greens. I've got a click to spin wheel up on my screen. That if you want Mizuna, type in me at the bottom here. So type in me into the comments and I'll put your name into the drawing wheel. And we'll try this puppy out. Okay, so Mama knows. Duval. Come on, guys. More people jump in here. David Gray, you still here? David wins everything. You know who we haven't seen lately is Tony Thatcher. Mike's chaotic. 3 people on the wheel. David. And Nikki, I think any of us who ordered from Baker Creek got them in the mail, right? Hey, Joe, are you still here? You want a chance at these seeds? You can always re-gift them on one of your lives. Okay, are we ready for me to spin the wheel? Okay, I'm about to spin the wheel. Click to spin. Off it goes. And we have Duval. You won. Congratulations. package of Mizuna. I don't know if you can hear it. So it's like fireworks going off here. So if you'll send me an email with your mailing address, um, I will get those in the mail to you. How's that? Cool beans? So I'm going to spin it again because I have another package of Mizuna. Mike's chaotic. Hey, Mike. Yahoo! I'm going to put your name in here. Again, if you win something, send me an email at the email that's on the banner, and we will. Okay, now where did my screen go? There it is. We'll get that in the mail to you. So let's do the crazy. I will give you 2 packages of seed from Baker Creek, your choice of seed. Actually, I'll give you 3 packages of seed from Baker Creek, and they'll mail directly from them to you. I'll do 2 drawings like that, okay? So if you want to be on the wheel for the Baker Creek, direct from Baker Creek seed, then type in BC, that's B for Baker, C for Creek, into the comments, and I'll put your name on the wheel, and we'll do 2 drawings for Baker Creek, and then we'll talk about what you want. As long as it's packets of seeds, not they're real expensive stuff, okay? So so go type in BC if you want into that drawing. Okay. Mama knows Duval, Mike's chaotic, David Gray, Garden State Gardner, Dark Lord. I'll keep it open just a couple more seconds. That would be cool, honeybee. You don't want to go into the drawing for seeds. I would love to meet you at a bee club meeting. And hey, Indiana. Been talking about you. Are your ears burning? Okay, it looks like that's all. Nikki, you don't want to be on the seed thing? We are in for, you're going to love it. 3 packets of seed from Baker Creek. Your choice. Okay. Click to spin. Whee! What if I can do something with my phone? Uh, can we see that? Mike's chaotic. Okay, in a second, when I do the second drawing here, I'll go to Baker Creek site and shop with you, Mike. And we have Garden State Gardener. Okay, so I'm going to the Baker Creek site. All right, Mike's Chaotic. What are 3 kinds of seed that you've been looking for or wanting? You'd be thinking about Joe too. You can go ahead and pick 3. So Mike wants hot peppers. When you say hot, how hot do you want to go? He wants hot and he wants sweet. Okay. Have you heard of a kerbaki or kerbachi? It's a long. It's got 5 stars, 80 days. Looks like a chili pepper, but they go yellow, green, and orange. I'm adding that to the cart for you. Ghosts will kill you. So I've got the sweet for you. Uh, Cubanelles. How about a black Hungarian, Mike? What do you think about black Hungarian pepper? You want that as your hot pepper? Okay. What's your third choice? Joe, if they're sold out of the Lesa, do you have another choice? Because I think last time I looked for the Lesa pepper, they didn't have it. Mike, you get one more choice. Okay, while Mike's thinking on that, okay, you want fish pepper? Let's see if they even have fish peppers. Those are really easy to grow. Fish pepper. Okay, I've got all that loaded up, Mike. If you go ahead and shoot me an email, I'll just type your email into the shipping information. Joe, I've got your email, and I don't know if I kept your mailing address. If you don't mind sending me your mailing address, I'll order yours after that. So I'll be back on the air. I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, Joe, I've got you down for the Hungarian heart tomato, the Lesa, and the Adjaversky. So sweetheart tomato if they don't have the Lesa. Good deal. So I'll be back in 2 weeks for a live. And I'm thinking I will have had another paycheck by then, and I'll order for one of my winners. I'll send out those little green seed starting. It's a package of seed starters with got an insert tray and a dome on it already. I gifted that during my last live, I think, but and that comes from Amazon. I am going to have to limit my winners to continental United States because I've had a whale of a time trying to get the vermiculite that I've got in a box ready to go to the lady who won up in Canada last time. And I'm going to go to the post office tomorrow and send her the vermiculite. And Adrienne, your comfrey plant is coming. So I'll tell you what, the next live I'll do the seed starters, another bag of vermiculite, and a comfrey plant. How's that for winning? But I'm going to require that you're in the United States. I'm sorry to my international people. It's just been it's been a nightmare trying to get the postage worked out for Canada. And I'm going to require that you are a member of the channel. So subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, you know, the commercial. And I need help growing the channel, y'all. What am I at? 661 subscribers. Got to get over that 1,000 mark, and I've got to get my watch hours up. I finally got 1,000 watch hours, but I need 4,000. And I just put together. Belt Loop called me today. I love this man, Gary, and he says, Lisa, this is what you need to do to grow your channel. One of them was to put a master playlist together. So it's something that if you're at work or something and you've got the juice in your phone, you can go and just play and turn off the sound, and that'll help me with my watch hours. So I'm kind of appealing to all my friends here. But you don't even have to watch, just turn it on and let it run. Indiana had me on Monday for 3 hours talking about medicinal herbs. And I've got a list here of herbs that people wanted me to talk about. And if there are any herbs, those of you who want to hear me talk about other types of herbs, medicinal uses, either send me an email with what you want to hear or type it in. It's 10:18. I'm going to sign off at 10:25. Does that sound good? Unless we get into talking about something else. But right now on my list, people want to hear about Solomon seal, burdock, moringa, marshmallow, meadow rue, Cuban oregano, blue vervain, stinging nettle, Cuban oregano. Oh, by the way, you all know I work at Home Depot. They've got Greek oregano. If you're looking for Greek oregano, they've got it right now. Meadow sweet and black cohosh. What else would you all like to hear about? Congratulations, Adrienne. That's wonderful. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mike. It took me a couple of days for my butt to get feeling back in it after sitting there for 3 hours. So, Adrienne, do you want to pair up for medicinal herbs part 2? Self-heal. How about ginseng? Does ginseng sound good? Horseradish, milk thistle, self-heal, feverfew. Turmeric. Mama, any roses that have not been grown with systemic poisons can be used for tea, but you really want to concentrate on the floribunda or the old-fashioned roses that have a lot of scent. There's a rose out there, it's called yellow showers or golden showers. Don't let your mind in the gutter. Golden showers, because it's a floribunda. They open up and very quickly they drop all their petals. So you have to pick them in the morning before they drop all their petals at the end of the day. But you're looking for something with a good scent. I grow the damask roses. They are super fragrant and spicy. It's the rose that they use in the Chaldean or Orthodox Christian ceremonies. They make incense from it and they swing it during the liturgy, the lanterns with the incense. Wonderful for teas, jellies, syrups. So Indiana's daughter is going to be a wave. I was Navy ROTC. Does that count? Any other herbs you want me to talk about next time? Valerian is, I think that's on here. Nope, it is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ginseng. Yeah, so you know what? If Adrian will come do it next 2 Thursdays from now, third Thursday of the month, we'll have her on as a guest and we'll stream simultaneously and talk about some of these more unique herbs. Ashwagandha. Gotu kola. Gotu kola, I grow it. It's supposed to help with your memory, but I keep forgetting to eat it. I've never heard of berberine or yohimba. I'll have to look that up. Can you enlighten us on what those are, Mike's? Adrian's laughing at me, but I'm serious. I've got a whole tub of it out there, and it's easy to grow. Evidently hard to remember to eat it to help your memory. I had a customer come, and I always give a tour to the gardens, right? And I've got my Gotu kola growing in an old Coca-Cola tub. Those red tubs, you used to be able to walk into the country stores and there'd be Coca-Cola stuck in ice in them, right? And he looks at it, he does a double take, and he goes, "Is that the Asian vegetable?" And I said, "Yeah, it's an herb supposed to help with memory, but I forget to eat it." And he did this happy dance, and he goes, "Juice it, juice it, juice it with cucumber." And I said, "You want some?" And he says, "Yeah," and I gave him a big cutting of it. But I just did a couple of times with cucumbers, and it was pretty good, and then I forget to use it. Okay, so that's quite a list of herbs, and I've got 2 weeks, I guess, to research the ones I don't know. But we have grown self-heal. We've got a tub of ginseng and a tub of Solomon seal. I've got burdock coming up right now in the garden. I've got moringa that's several years old. Ellen campaign. And I can't think of anything else. So get your questions together, and hopefully we won't run the next one 3 hours long. But come and take notes and decide whether it's something you want to grow, if it'll even grow where you are. I will tell you that the ginseng and the self-heal take a few years before you can start harvesting. Same with the black cohosh. Ashwagandha, I grew 1 year. And the part of that plant that you use are the roots. And I decided I'll just keep going to the Indian grocery store up the road and getting the ashwagandha tablets, because you can't grow enough. By the time you get done washing the roots and powdering them, you really don't have much medicine there. But it's interesting to grow. Gemena sylvestra. You giving me some homework, Mike? Gymnema sylvestra. Alrighty. So thank you all for coming by and keeping me company. And it's just a surprise pop up. Winners, remember to send me your mailing address so I can send you your prizes, and remind me what you won, because I haven't had enough Goto Kulu in my life. Saw palmetto. My husband's using that right now. So with that note, I'm going to go see how Charlie's doing. If those of you came in late, Charlie's really sick with a Meniere's disease attack. And those of you who knows what that is know how miserable he is with like seasickness. So let me go cuddle with him, and I wish you all a great evening. Have a good Easter. It's going to be past Easter. Will it be past Easter by the time I come back next time? Anyway, I really need Goto Kulu. This is the third Thursday, so the first Thursday of April is when you'll see me again. I really do need more Goto Kulu. Go ahead and laugh at me. That's fine. So until next time, y'all. See ya. Sometimes.